Watson's.
If it's a weight loss miracle, why won't its creator talk? Tomorrow at 6.
Primary concern, Clinton, Obama, a new appeal to black voters, and the fight for a frontrunner among Republicans. One-on-one, Tom Brokaw's exclusive interview with President Clinton. Financial fears after a huge slide, why this could be a critical week on Wall Street. And helping hands, there to do the little things so many of us take for granted.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. 1 year from today, this nation will witness the swearing in of a new president. But tonight, with two more contests, the Nevada caucuses and the South Carolina Republican primary now firmly in the rearview mirror, the road ahead seems as bumpy as ever for those hoping to raise their right hand on that day. With no chance to catch their breath, the Republican candidates turn now to Florida to break up the pack. And the Democrats get their turn in South Carolina just 6 days from now. And today, the two Democratic frontrunners were out honing their appeal to African-American voters, a group that could carry the day there next Saturday. NBC's Lee Cowan is at an Obama rally in Columbia, South Carolina tonight. Lee, good evening.
Well, Lester, good evening. Despite the fact that if you look at the percentage vote that shows Hillary Clinton with a big win coming out of Nevada, the Obama campaign says that actually, if you do the math, he ended up with more delegates there. Now, if you look at it that way, that means there was no real knockout here. So as important as South Carolina is, most of these candidates, they ended up going to February 5th states first today. It was anything but a typical Sunday in the Church of Politics today.
I've never seen so many politicians in church in my life.
At Ebenezer Baptist in Atlanta, the parish home of Dr. Martin Luther King, Barack Obama laid a wreath at the civil rights leader's grave. Inside, the historic moment was not lost on Ebenezer's pastor, who, while not officially endorsing Barack Obama, introduced him as an example of someone who's already fulfilled Dr. King's dream.
Now, with credibility and intelligence and power, we can run for president.
Hello, Las Vegas!
Barack Obama did well with African-American voters in Nevada. They broke heavily for him over Clinton, 83% to 14%. He's polling well in South Carolina, too, where about half the Democratic electorate is black, even if he prefers that unity be the hallmark of his campaign, not race.
Last week, it crept into the campaign for president with charges and counter-charges that serve to obscure the issues.
In New York, Hillary Clinton took to church, too, to remember Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy.
It is a revolution that has to keep going on inside the hearts and minds of each of us and inside every level of government and every institution in society.
She spoke at one of the most important black congregations in Harlem, Abyssinian Baptist. It was billed as a homecoming of sorts, with the pastor, the Reverend Dr. Calvin Butts, announcing he was officially endorsing the senator.
This was not and is not and will not become a race-based decision for me. And I hope that it has not and will not become a race-based decision for you either.
Now, as important as South Carolina is, Lester, this is increasingly looking like this is going to be a chase for delegates and not individual state wins that's really going to count. Lester.
Lee Cowan tonight. Thanks, Lee. And now to the Republicans and the battle looming in Florida next week, where momentum may bump up against another game of sheer numbers. Here's NBC's Ron Allen.
Capturing South Carolina gives John McCain what every GOP nominee has had for the last 28 years, a victory in the gateway to the solidly Republican South. Sweeter because McCain's bid ended bitterly there in 2000.
You know, it took us a while, but what's 8 years among friends, huh?
Meanwhile, Mitt Romney claimed victory in Nevada, which most of the field ignored, even though it had more delegates at stake than South Carolina.
There are 6 or so of us on the ballot there, Republicans, and I got the majority, 53% of the total.
While Romney has won Nevada and Michigan, and McCain in New Hampshire and South Carolina, and Mike Huckabee in Iowa, No Republican is yet clearly the party's favorite, with each to some extent backed by a segment or region of the party. Winning Florida, the nation's fourth largest state, will require widespread appeal.
Florida will really test the candidates because it's a big, diverse state. It is a state where you have a lot of different constituencies.
It's also a state where polls say it's a wide open race, with a new twist to the campaign because one candidate has so much at stake here.
Well, we're right in the middle of it now, right?
Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, the one-time frontrunner, who's finished back in the pack so far while focusing on Florida.
But even compared to the Republicans, I have the boldest tax reduction plan.
America's mayor, known for his leadership on 9/11 and especially courting Florida's transplanted New York retirees, now claims he's the best money manager, something McCain and Romney strongly dispute as the sagging U.S. economy increasingly concerns voters.
We saw that yesterday in the exit polls out of South Carolina, and I think you're going to see it even more in Florida.
A lot of analysts think Florida may be just a warm-up for the contenders before February 5th, when 22 states vote. But for Giuliani, Florida is perhaps a referendum on whether he's really in or out of the race. Ron Allen, NBC News, Jacksonville.
They couldn't keep up with
CNBC's chief Washington correspondent John Harwood joins us now with more. And John, the question is momentum. Does McCain have the momentum to take Florida? And does Giuliani's strategy look like it could pay off?
Still unclear, Lester. After winning New Hampshire, John McCain failed to defeat a weakened Mitt Romney in Michigan. He's polling well in Florida, but that's a Republicans-only contest, which means his strength among independents can't help him there. That gives Rudy Giuliani a chance to get back in this race with a victory on January 29th.
Turning to the Democrats, Barack Obama, as you know, has been under attack lately by both Hillary and President Clinton. How does he fight back?
Let's face it, he's running against both Clintons. Bill Clinton is a superb campaigner with both positive and negative messages, and his economic record is an increasing asset for Hillary Clinton as Americans worry more and more about recession. But some of Bill Clinton's off-message remarks have hurt his wife, and his prominence in the campaign underscores Obama's key argument that he represents the future, Hillary Clinton's the past.
And here we have another busy week of campaigning starting. There appears to be no front-runner in either party. They're spending a lot of money. What happens now?
There's absolutely no front-runner. Hillary Clinton's national lead gives her the edge in the 22 states that vote on February 5th, but Barack Obama's ahead in South Carolina, and his strength among African Americans gives him a broader base than past Democratic insurgents. On the Republican side, John McCain leads nationally, but Mike Huckabee can do well in southern states on February 5th. Mitt Romney still has deep pockets, and Rudy Giuliani's throwing everything he's got into Florida, Lester.
John Harwood, always good to talk to you. Thanks. That Arctic blast that brought an unusual coating of snow to the south is keeping a grip on almost 3/4 of the nation. Even in cities where cold is a constant companion this time of year, folks were talking about the deep freeze. But with the football championship on the line and the chance to meet the Patriots in the Super Bowl, fans in Green Bay came prepared to make the best of the bitter cold. Here's NBC's Michelle Franzen.
This weekend is the frozen tundra weekend.
Even a 20 below zero wind chill reading couldn't keep Packers fans from enjoying their weekly ritual.
This is every Sunday. This is what we do. It doesn't matter how cold you are.
Finding ways to keep warm before the NFC Championship game kicked off against the New York Giants.
We got fire, coal, we got a Bunsen burner.
This is the first time we did this. We call it the Pack Shack.
Despite the bitter cold, Giants fans were fired up too.
Are you kidding me? This is lovely weather for a football game.
From Green Bay to here in the Northeast and all the way south, the Arctic Express is delivering some of the coldest temperatures and wind chills this season.
We are slightly below seasonal. As you can see, the northern tier of the country is under the grip of cold air. It's sinking south from the Canadian prairies, and the reach is as far southeast as Florida.
Tonight's lows will range from -25 in International Falls to 55 degrees in Vero Beach, Florida, with snow and freeze alerts in between. The winter blast left its mark this weekend, dumping several inches of snow in Atlanta, Alabama, and Mississippi. A rare event that has since melted away, but icy roads and the cold spell are expected to linger through Wednesday. Bitter cold only a polar bear could love.
Yeah, it is a little bit frigid out here. Holy cow.
Or perhaps football fans for a day. Michelle Franzen, NBC News, New York.
Now to another issue that's got everyone talking, the financial concerns that are taking Wall Street on a wild ride lately. Joining us is CNBC's Trish Regan to take a look at where the economy might be headed. And Trish, the market last week showed signs that the investors are worried. What exactly are they worried about?
Well, bottom line, Lester, they're worried that the U.S. economy is heading for recession. They don't know the answer to this yet, but it's what's really causing all this volatility where you have days you're up triple digits and you're down triple digits. It was a wild ride last week with the Dow seeing its steepest loss since 2002. But it's really something we've been seeing so far since the start of the year. The Dow's been off about 8.8% since January 1. That's more than 1,100 points. And it really comes back to this issue of investors not knowing whether or not the U.S. economy is going into recession.
And every week there are some different numbers that come out that kind of try to put all this in focus. What should we be looking for this week?
Well, definitely keep an eye on company earnings. Earnings season really goes into full swing next week, and we're going to hear from a lot of big companies. And this is important because they're going to give us some kind of prognosis for the future. If companies say that they think their earnings are going to be scaled back, that's more evidence that perhaps this economy's in for some trouble. The other thing to keep an eye on, Lester, is the National Association of Realtors is coming out with its existing home sales. That's happening on Thursday, and it will tell you how home sales shaped up in the month of December. Right now, you've got buyers and sellers in a standoff where buyers don't want to pay any more than they have to for a home, and sellers certainly don't want to sell their home naturally for anything less than it's worth, so you're seeing a lot of inventory. That should be reflected on Thursday.
All right, CNBC's Trish Regan, thanks so much for your insight. And coming up tomorrow here on Nightly News, the first of a special series of reports, Hard Times, a Nightly News survival guide. It starts tomorrow here on NBC Nightly News. When we continue on this Sunday, Tom Brokaw's exclusive interview with former President Clinton. And later, helping hands, doing what some human hands can no longer do. We'll be right back.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
Life is better when things work in harmony. That's why at CVS Pharmacy, we do a comprehensive check of your prescriptions to make sure they work together.
It's just another ordinary
CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care. Everything that goes into each of the 13 different varieties of Mrs. Dash, all those natural herbs and spices, is just as important as what doesn't. No salt, no MSG. Everything that goes into Mrs. Dash is there to make sure that what you get out is nothing short of delicious. Mrs. Dash, salt-free, flavorful. And try the 10-minute marinades from Mrs. Dash.
Nasal sprays? Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots. Huh? Mucinex nasal spray?
New Mucinex Full Force Nasal Spray. Specially made to clear even the toughest mucus out of your nose for 12 hours. Mucinex in, mucus out.
You know what's the best part of a Lunesta night? The way you feel the next morning. Non-narcotic Lunesta can give you 7 to 8 beautiful, restful hours of sleep to help you feel refreshed, recharged, and ready to start your day. Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Call your doctor right away if after taking Lunesta you walk, drive, eat, or engage in other activities while asleep. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Ask your doctor whether a Lunesta night can help you have mornings like this. Lunesta, a great tomorrow starts tonight.
Costs going up, markets going down. What can be done? Hard Times, a Nightly News survival guide. Monday on NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams, America's #1 evening newscast.
Now NBC News in depth. Tonight, Bill Clinton trading places. The running mate now standing behind his wife as she seeks the Democratic nomination. His forceful advocacy seemed to backfire last week when some comments he made about Barack Obama fueled an angry debate over race in this election. Tonight, a much different tone. On the eve of Martin Luther King Day, in an exclusive interview with NBC's Tom Brokaw, Mr. Clinton talked about how both Obama and his wife could make history.
40 years after the death of Dr. King, wouldn't he be excited that one of the leading presidential candidates is a United States senator who's African American, highly educated, and charismatic?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A great speaker, a smart man, someone who loves our country. I think he would get a kick out of the fact that it appears that the nominee of the Democratic Party would either be an African American senator who's profoundly eloquent, or a woman senator who got her Methodist youth minister to take her to see Dr. King when she was a young high school student, who shared his lifelong commitment and who idolized him. I think, and it does not appear that either one of them is losing any votes because of race or gender. They may be gaining some votes because of race or gender, but that's to be expected. We're still in this transition period. I think that he would be deeply pleased by this.
You have been called by many of your African American admirers as the first black president. So can't you understand how young black voters find it irresistible now to vote for Barack Obama, a member in effect of their generation who's running for president?
Yes, I do. And so does Hillary, and we respect that. I've been really proud of the way she has approached African Americans in this campaign and said, look, I've got a lifetime of commitment to these causes, a lifetime of involvement. A lot of the African Americans who are supporting me are doing it because they know what we've done together. If you decide you can't be for me for obvious reasons, I respect you. And when this is over, we'll be together. My case to you is that I think I'm the best prepared to be president now, and I would be best for you now. If you disagree, I respect you. This is going to be an election in which we are coming together through debate and disagreement and discord and even, sharp elbows in Nevada. We're going to somehow, this is America. This is the election when we broke all the categories, and I respect you. I think that's the only thing you can say.
Bill Clinton with Tom Brokaw this afternoon here in New York. Up next, reports of a big airline deal in the works and the potential ripple effect for passengers. Is flying about to get more expensive?
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you.
Your cat will always be reminded of how much you love her because you fulfill her desires with Fancy Feast Gourmet Gold dry food for cats. Delight her with filet mignon flavor with real seafood and shrimp.
Dream a little dream of me.
Is it love or is it Fancy Feast?
Harry is a scratcher who keeps getting scratched. He needs maximum strength Scalpicin, not a shampoo. Its clear formula stops scratching with the itch medicine dermatologists recommend. Maximum strength Scalpicin, the clear solution to a healthier scalp.
Mucinex DM breaks up mucus and quiets coughing.
Mucinex DM, you've ruined my beauty sleep.
And it lasts for 12 hours. Mucinex in, mucus out.
In college, I wanted to be an architect. But after my father had a heart attack, I devoted my life to studying the heart.
Inventor of the Jarvik artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik.
Now I trust my heart to Lipitor. Adding Lipitor lowers bad cholesterol 39 to 60% when diet and exercise aren't enough. And Lipitor does more. Unlike Crestor, Vytorin, and Zetia, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke if you have several common risk factors for heart disease.
Ready, Dad?
Yep. And Lipitor is one of the most researched medicines. I'm glad I take Lipitor as a doctor and a dad. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. Don't wait. Ask your doctor.
Monday, Keith dissects the aftermath from the weekend face-offs. What does it mean for Super Tuesday? Countdown with Keith Olbermann, MSNBC, Monday.
You ready to play? You ready? You ready? You ready? I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Come on, giddy up! Come on, giddy up! Oh, one. Whoa, hands on the wheel, Bill. Dang, double dang. Dang, dang. Oh, I told you he was going to lose. I told you. Come on, I'll give you a ride. Don't you tell my dad.
At Acceptance, car insurance where everybody's a winner.
If it's a weight loss miracle, why won't its creator talk? Tomorrow at 6.
The wreckage of a British Airways jet was moved off the runway at Heathrow Airport in London today. It was a slow and painstaking journey to get the wreckage safely off the field and into an engineering base where the investigation into the crash will proceed. Officials are trying to find out just why all power appeared to fail just before the 777 touched down following a flight from China. There were only minor injuries as all 136 passengers and 16 crew members escaped from the plane. Now to a big airline deal that's in the works. With profits under pressure throughout the industry, what might be waiting in the wings could make flying a very different experience from the moment you purchase your ticket. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
From the tarmac to the cockpit, the talk is that two of the biggest airlines may soon be tying the knot. Delta and Northwest Airlines reportedly in merger talks, and a deal could have a big impact on passengers, from how you book a flight to the number of available seats.
What we have here is a perfect marriage of two airlines. When you look at the routes, Delta is the largest airline to Europe, and Northwest is almost neck and neck the largest airline to Asia.
Of course, any merger would require government approval. The trouble? Many fear a merger between giants could mean fewer flights into shared cities, higher ticket prices, and even fewer jobs. On Thursday, the governor of Minnesota asked both CEOs to protect Minnesota jobs. Quote, I respectfully remind you of the commitments Northwest has made to Minnesota. Northwest's hub and headquarters are in Minneapolis. Why would the airlines consider a merger? Because even though planes are flying nearly full today, higher jet fuel prices are cutting into profits.
Thank you, sir.
A merger could cut costs and combine resources. Even without one, some analysts expect airlines will start replacing those smaller regional jets with larger planes, able to carry more passengers.
A lot of communities that today or in the past could support 50-seat jets now won't be able to, and they're going to lose some or all of their air service. It's basic raw economics, and that's part of the capacity pull down we're going to see over the next 2-3 years.
With airlines anxious to squeeze every last nickel out of every passenger, we could also be in for more a la carte airline pricing.
When you buy a ticket, you're going to get a ticket from point A to point B, and if you want to check your luggage, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for maybe sodas on the plane.
A little extra money for legroom and a soda to make that 3-hour delay a little more bearable. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
There was word today from Los Angeles that actress Suzanne Pleshette has died. She was best known for playing Bob Newhart's wife in the 6 years of The Bob Newhart Show, and for one of the most talked about endings in sitcom history, when she reprised her role in a surprise final scene to Newhart's second series, as he explained away the entire show as a strange dream.
That settles it. No more Japanese food before you go to bed.
Suzanne Pleshette died of respiratory failure. She was 70. We're back with a look at how animals are helping people accomplish the simple things they can no longer do for themselves.
Great.
Fed up with snoring? Introducing new Snore Relief Throat Strips from Breathe Right. At night, throat tissues can become dry and vibrate, but new Snore Relief Throat Strips gently lubricate throat tissues to help keep them quiet. They help 2 out of 3 couples sleep more peacefully at night. Breathe better, sleep better with new Wintergreen Snore Relief Throat Strips from Breathe Right.
Sometimes she has trouble staying asleep. Not tonight. Thanks to Ambien CR and the 7-Night Invite. Get 7 free nights of the only sleep aid with 2 layers to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Just call or visit 7freecr.com. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, sleep aids may cause severe allergic reactions such as swelling of your tongue or throat or shortness of breath. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. However, like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Get your free Ambien CR 7-night trial offer now. Just call or visit 7freecr.com. Ambien CR for a good night's sleep from start to finish.
Bad sore throat pain? New Cepacol spray is a big shot of relief. Numbs pain instantly in just 1 shot. Old-fashioned sprays need 5. New Cepacol spray. The little spray that's a big shot of relief.
Fidelity is America's #1 IRA choice. It's because we give you free investment help. We don't charge IRA account fees. And we have more 4- and 5-star funds than any other company, all with no loads. Get your Fidelity IRA today. Come in or call 1-800-FIDELITY.
What is stronger than a mother's love? Her son was wrongly convicted and now set free. So why is she still fighting for justice? Plus, how far will these would-be parents go to adopt? Dateline's hidden cameras take you there. The powerful bond between mother and child. All new Dateline tonight, 7/6 Central on NBC.
How many Today Show anchors does it take to change a light bulb? Find out this week when they all try some energy-saving ideas. Today Goes Green, only on NBC.
Hard Times, a nightly news survival guide. NBC Nightly News Monday.
Finally, tonight we have a follow-up to a story we first told you about here last year. It's a program that's bringing hope and help to many in ways hard to imagine, training companions to do what so many of us take for granted. Ordinary tasks performed with extraordinary skill. Meet Casey, a capuchin monkey who is loyal friend and doting companion to 24-year-old Ned Sullivan. Ned was left paralyzed below the neck after a 2005 car accident. Casey helps him do the things he no longer can.
She's not just a circus sideshow. She's a companion, a buddy.
Probably the most amazing thing about Casey is that she's actually been a lifesaver, and I don't say that, lightly.
Ned's mom says Casey's screeches have summoned help when seizures have left Ned unconscious.
I know Casey sees something that's not right with Ned, and she's going to react because that's the person at the top of their hierarchy. That's the person she loves the most in this world.
Megan Talbert runs Helping Hands, a Boston-based nonprofit organization where so far Casey and 126 other capuchin monkeys have been trained and matched to severely disabled recipients.
Our goals are for monkeys to help with the simple everyday tasks, those little annoying things that you don't want to ask a human attendant for, whether that be scratching an itch on somebody's face, pushing up somebody's glasses, flipping the lights on and off, putting a CD in a CD player.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Donations cover the $35,000 it takes to breed and train the monkeys, a task that starts small. Let's see how about that one.
Good girl.
Okay, there's a smaller one.
Good girl.
Okay, I'll fix it for you. All right. From cups and balls, eventually they learn to do everything from putting a straw in a drink
Open straw.
Beautiful.
to turning the page of a magazine. They are cute and charming, but as Helping Hands warns, they are not for everyone.
People often say that they have experience with cats and dogs, which is a great start, but having a monkey is very much like having a 3-year-old.
Just ask Ned's family.
As cute as a button and adorable and sweet and just as naughty and feisty and can be, a real challenge.
But they've overcome many of them, and both Ned and Casey have come a long way since we first met them a year ago.
It's been really almost a miracle to see the kinds of things he now does versus even a year ago. A lot of that is due to the relationship he's built with Casey.
There's more on this story and the Helping Hands program on our website, nightly.msnbc.com. Let's turn over to Ann Curry now for a look at what's coming up tonight on Dateline. Ann?
Lester, thanks. Tonight, an investigation into international adoptions. Using hidden cameras, Dateline has found baby brokers overseas who exploit children and the families trying to adopt them.
I can't imagine doing that to an adult, never mind doing it to a child.
To catch a baby broker coming up on Dateline. Lester?
All right, Ann, thanks. That's Dateline tonight at 7, 6 Central Time. That's NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. Brian Williams will be here tomorrow. I'm Lester Holt reporting from New York for all of us here at NBC News. Good night.
Parents on the battle lines, fighting for their children.
I knew the second I saw her, that was our little girl.
They just wanted a baby.